Good evening, cats. My name is Saudin, and this is our second game on the strategies and positional play. Now, if you look at this position, you may notice that white has an advantage in the center, and the main advantage here is that the knight is better than the black bishop. Also, there is this pawn on d6 that is quite weak. The space in front of the pawn is weak. So white will be able to build up the game on the white colors here. So this is one of those positions where knights are better than the bishop. So let's see how did white win this game. Look, first he's organizing his rooks and making a pressure on the pawn on d6, and then bringing the knight. So the pawn on d6 is already attacked 3 times, and it is going to be difficult to defend it. Black plays bishop to f8 and rook to d5. Look at the power on the white colors. The white pieces are positioned on the white colors. Like I said, this space in front of the pawn on d6 is very strong outpost for the white pieces. And now the white is going to attack this pawn even one more time. So we could see a next move like queen to d3 or like rook d3 and queen d2 in order to capture that pawn on d6. Pay attention to the knight on e4 comparing to the bishop on f8. This knight is in the center of the board, very unpleasant for the black pieces. And the bishop on f8 is just defending the pawn on d6. So those pawns on the dark colors are actually not good for the bishop because they are blocking the bishop. Black played here queen g4. He's quite impatient and cannot handle the pressure, so he's playing this move, and very soon he's actually going to lose this pawn on d6. So this move is happening already now, but the pawn is lost. Now the trade, and black is hoping for a counter attack. He wants to take on f2, but it is very interesting how white continued here. White captured and allowed black to take on f2. Now the reason that white did that is because it is clear that black king is also quite weak. So not only that white king is in a open position and in a dangerous position, but the black king as well. So white is going with a check, trading, right? Trading one rook. So there is no chances for a checkmate for black, and now white takes the initiative in the game, and he goes for a checkmate. There is no good check for black to play here. Right? The only chance that black would have is to make some kind of perpetual check, but there are no good checks here. So he has to play rook g7 to stop the checkmate on h8, and now queen e8. So again, there is no check. Now, of course, if you want to play this way, you have to have very precise calculation, right? And make sure that black don't check you and make a draw, right? Right now, you are threatening to play queen h8. So the only move is g5, check, and again check. And now white takes. And again, there is no good check for black. So the black king is really in trouble. Queen f5. Rook d1. Look at this, an amazing move. Threatening rook f1. So it's clear that black king is in more trouble than a white king. Queen c5 check, king g2, and there is no good check right now. Again, you cannot play queen c6 check because the queen on h6 can take. Queen e7, black is trying to play queen e4 or queen e2 check, but rook f1, and now queen f6. White is offering the trade of the queen. Of course, 5 pawns against 3 pawns in the rook endgame is a clear advantage, and white has a chance to win the game. Now, black is trying to avoid it. Queen f5 with the idea queen d5 check. Look at just all those nice, precise moves that that white is doing. Rook e2. Okay, this is an idea that white discovered in this position. He's activating his pieces, and he wants to start attacking the king. It's hard for black here because the king is really opened. And this is an interesting moment. Of course, white would win the game by taking the queen on f7. But this move, rook e6, very interesting. He's avoiding to trade the queens, and I guess he wants to keep the rook on the board so that he can attack the king. Check. And of course, after this move, there is no defense anymore. And rook g8, and takes the queen and wins the game. So this was our second game on positional play. So let's see one more time from the beginning what was so important about this game. Look, first we talked about better a knight than a bishop. We talked about pawn on d6, that's called backward pawn, and this pawn is quite weak. It cannot go forward, right? And what is important about the backward pawn is that the space in front of the pawn is weak. So this is a white color space, and we can build up our forces on that space, and you see the white can line up the rooks and build up all his pieces on white color. Because the black cannot match them on white color because the bishop is dark, right? At the same time, this bishop is quite weak comparing to the knight because it is blocked by those 2 pawns in the center. So white builds up this position, right, and setting up for more pressure on d6. Right, the queen will get into the game, and the advantage is very clear. Now, what is important for you is to get the feeling for those kind of positions. If nothing, you should know that white is better here, right? Now, to win the game, you need a little bit, good technique, and you have to be patient because you're not going to win this game. It's not like checkmate, right, that you go for. This is a kind of position where you are trying to win 1 pawn and then win the endgame. So now it's time for white to capture that pawn. And then I think it was really nice how, look, this is an important moment where white is trading a rook. He's trading 1 rook because he cannot allow black to have two rooks on the chessboard. Two rooks are dangerous because they can checkmate the king. But trading the one rook and playing this move, rook d8, it's clear that now white is the one attacking. Although it looks like black queen and is around the white king, it could be dangerous, but it's really not because there are no checks. There are no good checks, right? The white pieces are so well positioned, right? The rook is active, queen is active. On the other side, the black rook is not active. And now final combination, right, where white is winning the pawn. And of course, now when you win this pawn, then any kind of endgame is going to be in white's favor, right? This is an excellent move with the rook f1. And this move offering the trade. But then it's interesting how white actually did not trade the queen, but he decided to play for the attack, right? Because he figured out that it's actually good to keep, like in this case, to keep the rook on the chessboard. There are no good moves for black. Black is in a kind of zugzwang position where there is nothing good to play. So this is how the game ended up. And queen takes on g6. Okay, boys and girls, that's the game number 2 about the positional play. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and we'll see each other soon in the next lesson. Bye bye.